Good day, everyone. I am Kyle Therese Aligaray and I will be facilitating the report of Miss Guatno, which is the basic gardening. Gardening is the art or trade of caring for cultivating a garden. One activity that has been among Filipinos during the onset of the lockdown until the present time is the increased engagement in gardening. Home gardening suddenly became a widespread activity in rural and urban areas. The coronavirus pandemic forced many of us to be confined into our homes for extended periods of time. But a popular trend is helping people get outside while bringing them a little peace of mind. Why do we garden? Gardening may be a fun and relaxing way to get in touch with nature. Gardening can make a great hobby, and as well as gardening is a very fulfilling hobby to have. This is especially evident during the lockdown where a lot of people have jumped on the popular trend of gardening, which, as they say, has helped them to relieve their stress and boredom, helps them to get outside while bringing them a little peace of mind. Gardening as a hobby is a calming and rewarding activity. It is an activity that's good for both the mind and body and can be done by anyone. So we'll talk now about nutrition since we're talking about the basic gardening. So when you grow your own food, you get the freshest items possible. Everyone knows fresh food always tastes better. Also, the fresher the food is, the more vitamins they contain. So the biggest benefit from growing your own food is that you don't have to worry about your food safety. And also exercise. Studies claim that in general, you can burn up to 300 calories for women and 400 calories for men per hour with moderately strenuous gardening activity. So gardening is like a workout because you perform light or moderate intensity tasks like mowing the lawn or raking leaves. Gardening involves walking, stretching, lifting, and bending, and also it can build muscle as well as give a good cardio and aerobic workout. So this kind of exercise can help lower blood pressure and cholesterol levels. It can also help keep away problems with heart disease, diabetes, and other diseases related to inactivity. Moving forward, by doing this basic gardening, we should pick our location. So, why is location important or significant in gardening? So, it's very important for the health of your garden that your plants are placed in the proper location. Choosing location for your garden is the most important step in the gardening planning process. So, vegetables need to at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight for best growth. So we need to choose a location as far away as possible from trees and shrubs. So the roots of nearby trees and shrub will rob your vegetables of needed nutrients and water. So good soil with good drainage is needed. Wet soil means wet roots which can turn into rotted roots. If you have rocky soil, till and remove the rocks as they will interfere with root growth and make for weaker plants. So we should have soil tested before we start gardening to determine if our soil is lacking any needed nutrients. So it is needed to be sure our water source, of course, is close by, so stable and not windy. Avoid places that receive strong winds that could knock over our young plants. According to Ms. Guatno, choosing plot size also is a significant thing based on basic gardening. So, whatever the size of your garden, every 4 feet or so, make sure that you have paths that allow you to access your plants to weed and harvest. So, just make sure that you can reach the center of the row or bed easily without stepping on the soil. So, one of the most common errors that beginners make is planting too much too soon. So, preparing the soil before you can plant, soil preparation is a must also. And We should add a 2 to 4 inch layer of organic matter and incorporate it into the soil. So organic matter will improve our soil structure and will add nutrients to the soil. So purchase potting soil or make our own by combining equal parts of compost, shredded pine bark, mulch, and vermiculite. So do not use garden soil in container gardens. And also, the other significant thing is choosing vegetables. So we need to think about how much we and our family will eat and how likely we are to freeze, can, or give away excess produce. Then we should be realistic about how many seeds or plants we need to put into the ground. So many beginners make the mistake of planting too much. Moving forward, we'll talk about the maintaining gardening, which includes the water consistently, fertilizing, and eliminating weeds. So, water is necessity for the survival of our plants. So, watering our plants regularly allows us for available moisture to keep our plants healthy and producing throughout the growing season. So, we should maintain soil moisture so that plants do not dry out but don't overwater. So inconsistent watering will reduce yields in most vegetables and make others taste bitter. So in fertilizing, maintaining vigorous growth is very important with almost all vegetables. So most should be fed with a nitrogen fertilizer at least every 4 to 6 weeks. However, we should be careful for not over fertilize, which can cause some vegetables to produce less. And last is the eliminating weeds. So weeds compete with vegetables for water, nutrients, and sunlight. So this can reduce yields. Pull weeds by hand and cultivate the soil frequently to keep them to a minimum. So mulch to maintain moisture and manage weeds is an effective agent to help combat weed germination. So by spreading it an inch or two thick, you help keep the weeds at bay. Regarding of everything I've mentioned, so we should consider the pest and disease. So pests are attracted to stressed plants. So we should keep our plants happy and healthy with adequate sun, water, and fertility. We should water the soil and root area, not the leaves. So reduce the likelihood of fungal disease by watering the soil, not the leaves of the plants. Scout the garden and inspect the plants for garden pests like aphids. Examine plants, including the underside of leaves, frequently for damage or disease and intervene early from disease. So, we need to sure also to check at night when slugs and snails are out. Therefore, diseases of our plants are usually fungal or bacterial in nature and thrive in moist, humid environments. So, they can be generally avoided through proper plant spacing that provides air circulation and the amendments of soil from one year to the next to help eradicate soil-borne diseases and keep a healthy plant to help stave off possible infection. So if you think that you have that diseases of your plant, so start by improving the circulation of your plants. So use the less toxic pest management strategy available. So when using pesticides, be kind to bees by not spraying plants while they are blooming and only spraying in the late afternoon. So that's all about the report of Miss Guatno. Again, I'm Caltris Aligaray, facilitating the video of Miss Guatno, which is the basic gardening. I hope you understand. Thank you and God bless.